Some things are going to have to change for the Chiefs in 2019, and Sammy Watkins is one of them. Let's talk about what's going on with this offense and who's going to catch passes from Patrick Mahomes. Welcome back to RGR Football. I'm Ryan, and this is me going rogue about the Chiefs in the NFL and about this sport in general. It's been a little bit. I'm back on the mend, and you can hear my voice again. I'm going to start a new series of smaller videos talking about some of the topics that the players are most intrigued about and what they're talking about. So we're going to start today looking at the passing offense and how things are changing. No one's really talking about the fact that Tyreek Hill isn't there, but the fact is he isn't. And so Sammy Watkins has stepped up and is the number one target at this point for this team in the OTAs. And that's important because Sammy's had a long history of health issues, injuries, not quite hitting his potential, but things seem to be changing, at least in his words. And sometimes that happens. A change of scenery does help some players, and it helps them become healthier. They get a different perspective on how they have to do things, how they have to prepare, treat their body, do rehab, even just do maintenance to keep themselves in good shape. And it seems like the Chiefs training staff, and Rick Burkholder in particular, are having an impact. This is what Sammy had to say about it.
Oh man, it's been a blessing. They kind of know my body better than I do. They've been fixing and giving me so many tips and things to do at home and come in the training room and work on before I come out here. And my body's feeling amazing, from my hips to everything that they're correcting. I think that's been the biggest part of why I can come out here and run around, have fun, and do the things I do best.
Now, the other need for Sammy Watkins, especially this offseason, is that when you draft a rookie like Mecole Hardman so high, you have to look for production from him. And there's a lot of little things that have to be taught, that have to be gone through, and it's a difficult transition for a guy, especially Hardman, who only played 2 years of wide receiver. And so he has to not only be the number one, but he has to be a resource for everybody else. Mecole Hardman has to lean on him in particular. So he gets the chance to kind of guide him through, give him some positive feedback, help him make that transition through these OTAs before they get to training camp so they can hit the ground running.
Yeah, I'm always talking to them. The coaches on them really hard, as they on everybody pretty hard. And just tell them, hey, keep going, man. Play fast. Like, you're going to make many mistakes right now. But as long as you play fast and finish and do the right things, what the coach is looking for, which is speed and being available, just continue to get better and listen to the coaches and the guys around you.
Now, the bottom line for any of these wide receivers, but Watkins in particular, Hardman somewhat as well, is that you have to have a rapport and you have to be able to rely on your quarterback to drive the bus, to lead the team. And there's some interesting comments from Watkins on how he feels that Pat Mahomes is developing as a leader. Saw a picture of him last week studying away as the tornadoes hit town. That's one sign of dedication. But this is what Watkins had to say about his leadership skills this season over last.
Yeah, I think for the most part he's a leader now. I think 3 weeks ago he kind of got on me a little bit. But that's what we need from a guy that lead this team, a guy that's ahead of this team, a leader. And he's going to do all the crazy things on the field, throwing the balls crazy and making the plays that he's going to make. He's going to continue to do that.
And especially with a leader quarterback like Mahomes, there's just another step that you can take. And there's something to be said about a feeling out kind of time frame. Sammy's kind of a holistic, kind of natural guy. And he made that progression a little bit slower than I expected last season, but now he's a year into it. And he is in a position to take his game that much farther now that he has that rapport, a season with Mahomes. And with Mahomes being so unpredictable at times, that does put a little bit more impetus on what the wide receivers have to do and just how diligent they have to be. There's been a lot of a theme this offseason about running through routes, not giving up on routes, and that's because of the arm strength of Mahomes. But what does Watkins feel that it means for him?
Yeah, I think we really hit it off last year. I think the only thing, like you said, I got injured against the Cleveland Browns, but just continue to build off what we did last year and stay communicating. And I got to keep running my routes full speed, and he got to keep homing the ball and really just spreading the ball around. I think that's the biggest thing, and the success of this team. We have so many guys that you can throw the ball to, and not just me. So just continue to build with him and keep doing the things I've been doing.
So when you put all this together about how Sammy Watkins is feeling in general about his body, his health, his quarterback, etc., I have to leave for this point in the season. I'm pretty optimistic because you can't take a guess at what's going to happen legally with the other player that should be the number one on this team. So Sammy Watkins is it, and I feel like as he can kind of meander through this offseason, it puts him in a good place. Health is always the biggest concern, still my biggest concern for him. But given his comments that we saw today, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about how he can progress through training camp and be ready, especially week one, but to lead through the season. How do you guys feel about it? I want to know. Hit your comments below, and let's talk about how you feel about the wide receiver group, but Watkins in particular. And if you're new here, hit the sub if you like what I'm doing. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video. The little bell notification, you can click that, and you'll know anytime I put another video up or when we go live. I'm going to continue to do the live Q&As on Monday nights, except for holidays or whatever, and we'll keep talking all through the off season. This is going to be the first in a series. I'm going to make some other changes around here, maybe change the studio a little bit. We'll see. But that's going to keep going. It's going to be a progress through the summer. I'll be at training camp at some point. Not sure what. We'll schedule that out, and I'll let you guys know. Maybe we can all show up in St. Joe together. But hope you guys are having a good one. I'm glad I'm back, and I'm glad to see you, and I'll talk to you next time.